The seven trumpets. Seven angels who had seven trumpets prepared to sound them. The first angel sounded his trumpet, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood, and it was hurled down on the earth. A third of the earth was burned up, a third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a huge mountain all ablaze was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea turned to blood, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, a third of the ships were destroyed. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky. On the third of the rivers and the springs of the water, the name of the star is Wormwood, and I researched it, and there is a star named Wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died from the waters that had become bitter. The fourth angel sounded his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, and a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them turned dark, and a third of the day was without light, and also a third of the night. Okay, so I'm figuring that's probably asteroids, big ones. Okay. The fifth angel sounded his trumpet and saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. The sun and the sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss. And out of the smoke, locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions on the earth. They were told not to harm the grass on the earth or any plant or any tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months, the ones that did not have the seal. And the agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes. During those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. The locusts looked like horses prepared for battle. On their heads they wore something like crowns of gold. Their faces resembled human faces. Their hair was like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. They had breastplates, like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses and chariots rushing into battle. Their tails were stingers like scorpions, and in their tails they had the power to torment people for 5 months. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek is Apollyon, that is the destroyer. The first woe to pass, 2 other woes are yet to come. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the 4 horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the sixth angel who had the trumpet, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates." Euphrates is drying up. Okay, they are bound underneath it. Okay, and the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard their number. The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled the heads of lions, and out of their mouth came fire, smoke, and sulfur. A third of mankind was killed by the 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of the mouths. Of the power of the horses was in the mouths and in their tails, for their tails were like snakes, having heads that which they could inflict injury. The rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of their work of their hands, and not and did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold and silver, bronze and stone and wood, idols that cannot see or hear or walk. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immoralities, or their thefts. Oh no. Then an angel I had seen standing on the sea and on the land raised his right hand to heaven, and he swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created the heavens and all that is in them, the earth and all that is in it, and the sea and all that is in it, and said, there will be no more delay. But in the days when the seventh angel is about to sound his trumpet, the ministry of God will be accomplished, just as he announced to his servants the prophets. Then the voice then the voice that I heard from the heaven spoke to me once more. Go, take the scroll that lies upon in the hand of the angel who is standing on the sea and on the land. So I went to the angel and asked him to give me the little scroll. He said, take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but in your mouth it will be sweet as honey. I took the little scroll from the angel's hand and ate it. It tasted sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour. Then I was told, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, languages, and kings. I think that's enough to make me think. I can't even wrap my mind around that. I think he's very upset. I think he is very upset. I think a lot of people better change their ways. There is no way I want to be stung over and over by scorpions and wishing for death and can't get it. The wormwood star, if you don't believe me, look it up. It's there. It's there. It's not that far off. It's there. The thing that darkens the planet, the moon, and the earth, I'm thinking, is probably the 2 football field wide meteor that's circling us. It said that it could hit and it might not. Well, I'm not the only person that thinks that it probably will. I didn't say when. I said it's going to hit. And if you try to shatter it to pieces, even the pieces that shatters from it is going to hit Earth's atmosphere. And it's going. There's so many holes punched in our atmosphere from people going up in the outer space till it doesn't have any choice but to bring a shower of meteors through here. It don't have a choice. I mean, think about it. You know, anybody with any common sense would know that it's going to be pulled through the holes. Okay, that's all I got to say about it. I thought it was quite interesting, um, and it make you think. I don't think there's a whole lot. After I think about all the things I said, grow your own gardens. It don't really matter if you grow your own gardens or not. To tell you the truth. Um, when that day comes, that's it. That's it. When that day comes, that's it. That's the end. That's the end. That's all I got to say about it. So just erase all the above that I said. But I was right. And I didn't say this to be right. I was right about the food shortage a year and a half ago and the water being toxic in certain states. I was right. I don't know how it got toxic. I don't understand it. But I just knew. Okay, I was right about that. You gotta admit that I was right. That TikTok saved the videos for me. Thank God for them. I thank God for TikTok saving those for me because people probably would not believe that I did it. But I said it. But I said it. I said it. And and other things too. But that's beside the point. The point is, it's closer than we realize, and it doesn't matter. It don't matter what we do. There's nothing going to be able to save anybody. I mean, yeah, we got missiles all over the place that you wouldn't not even believe that. And I can't talk about that. And not because of the military thing, it's because I just know we got missiles where you would not believe. But the missiles ain't gonna do no good. This is God. I mean, it'll do good in a war, but it's not gonna. But we ain't gonna shoot God, okay? When God comes, that's it. That's it. But wow, that's an eye opener right there. All that talking I did about it won't do any good. It won't do any good when the time comes. It won't do a bit of good. Won't do a bit of good. Y'all have a good day, or try to after that.